Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here back with another one for you. So guys, the following clip is from one of my live streams. Guys, I go live Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So guys, come and join the lives. We laugh, we cry, we laugh until we cry. And before we get into this clip, guys, like, subscribe, drop a comment. I have a second channel called 50304s. Go and check that out. And hit that join button because it really helps the channel out. And let's get into this. There you go. Now this is from MTR. I'm not that big a fan of his, but this one's kind of on the topic.
There's literal works of art available for women to download entitled How to Destroy a Man Now. Guys, they say that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But in this case, it is men that are fed up and are making rational decisions in the workplace. What is it that we're talking about here today? Well, the Me Too movement is clearly backfiring on women in professional environments. And if you guys remember, the Me Too movement kicked off towards the end of 2017, most notably with the Harvey Weinstein case, where he was inevitably found guilty. Now, at the time, the movement was praised because it gave strength to a lot of women to report harassment that was happening in the workplace. But one of the talking points specifically within the male sector that they focused in on is the strength of this movement hyperbolic or exaggerated in comparison to what is actually happening in the workplaces today. And if there's an overcorrection, well, what would be the result of that overcorrection? Well, first, I want to give you guys Exhibit A, and this tweet got over 2 million views on Twitter, and it says, I was talking to a female friend and she was telling me how lonely it is for her to be working with only men in her team because they all maintain a respectful distance from her as they don't want to come off as creeps, not realizing it is completely isolating. And when
Now, guys, I covered this tweet a long time ago, but I figured that this is relevant. This is actually more relevant now than ever, right? Guys, please, 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 please leave these broads alone. Leave them alone. Don't look at them. Don't talk to them. Don't train them. Don't mentor them. Don't even, guys, do the bare minimum so that they don't go, oh, he's yeah. You know what I mean? Guys, please go to work, do your job. Eat your lunch at your desk, right? Have your headphones in. If you ever have to be in a meeting with a chick, make sure someone else is there. Or if you're in a conference room, keep the door open. Guys, this is not a game. You will get gotten. It could happen to any of us. Black, white, military, non-military, guys, you can get cooked. And once you get cooked, guys, that even if you're innocent, man, it doesn't matter,
read this tweet, the first thing that I think of is that there's modern men today that are making rational decisions because they're putting their purpose or how they make money over shitting where they eat. But the definition of shitting where you eat is shifted over time because it used to mean flirting with said person of the opposite sex. But in modern times today, men are avoiding contact and conversations with women because of the overcorrection that I spoke about previously. The irony being here is that the Me Too movement was put into place to help women, but it turns out the degree that women utilized it to weaponize interactions with men in the workplace seems to be hurting them as much. 5 years removed since the beginning of the Me Too movement, it's clear to a degree that Me Too is backfiring on women today in professional settings because men that might be executives or senior managers are now refusing to engage with female staff. Now, some believe that this is just a knee-jerk reaction, while others are saying that these men are making rational decisions because the risk of being fired should an interaction go awry, or the risk of having harassment as a stamp on your invisible resume or on your track record is not worth talking.
Now, guys, really fast, I recommend, if you can, guys, go to my video on this one right here. This woman being ignored video. It's the one that has 137,000 views. Guys, read the comments and read the stories that some of you guys have put in here. Look at this. This guy says, As a gay man, I've been harassed by women and was one time accused of inappropriate behavior because I refused her advances. So he's, zesty, and because she liked him, he said, no thanks. All of a sudden, they called HR.
Wow.
You guys, just go and I have a whole series of videos on this, guys. Just go through this playlist and look at these stories. You know what I mean? And you'll see just all the foolishness that's actually going on. Insane.
You want some stories?
Yeah, go for it.
I've been called to HR on 3 separate occasions. The second one was probably the most infuriating one, where I was with a gal. I worked in a job that was mainly men, and she worked in an area, and she'd come over to my area and was distracting me, and we were talking, and we should have been working. And my boss walked by and saw me, and he looked at us and he said, "Hey, quit the lady chatter and get back to work." And so we did, and I didn't think anything of it because he was right. We're 2 ladies. We shouldn't have been chattering. I should have been working. So I went back to work. A week later, I get called into HR because apparently she reported him for sexual discrimination in the workplace by calling us ladies and chatting. And I had to defend him.
Wow.
Like I couldn't even believe this.
One
And
was
HR
a
took it
lady.
so seriously.
One was a lady, and the other was an uptight. Never mind.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, yeah, she wasn't a lady, so she was right.
Yeah.
He called him a name that she wasn't, and that was a lady because she was not one.
That just doesn't make once again chaos, guys. Chaos.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to work and do stuff.
Yeah.
Keep going.
The most recent one is a hoe off. You ready for this? 2 hoes fighting it out. So I hear a rumor from one of hoes. Let's call her 3041, and she tells me that 3042 is a lot lizard and sneaking around with some of the other delivery drivers I work with. And I don't think anything of it. I don't care. I don't know this other lady. I move on. A week later, I get called in the office because Ho 1 turned in Ho 2 to HR for sexual harassment in the workplace for hitting on drivers. Well, here's the thing. Both of them are sleeping with the drivers, but one of them, Ho 1, is not a very good looking lady. And Ho 2 was a little bit better, but not by much. And she was getting along with one of the drivers that Ho 1 liked. And so that's why Ho 1 turned in Ho 2.
Man, it figures,
Wow.
right? It figures. The women's worst enemy is always another woman.